So thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us.
Yes.
As always. So let's go back to the genesis of this idea. Where did it come from?
It started with the idea of a story about kids getting lost in the Star Wars galaxy, and the kids wouldn't really know that much about it. They're maybe a little bit sheltered. And so they'd be totally overwhelmed.
Yeah, we like the idea of seeing the world of Star Wars from a new perspective, which is like through the eyes of a group of kids.
Not something we'd ever really seen before because the kids were always older.
No. Yeah, there's been kids in Star Wars before, but it's never been told really from their perspective, which changes it.
Now, I've read that you talk about E.T. and some of the other Amblin stuff, but you also mentioned Monkey Island, which is one of my favourite games
Really?
of all
Me too.
time.
Yeah. I was like probably more influenced by Monkey Island than any movie.
Such a good game.
Yeah, it's
still
great.
Today. It stands up.
And it's LucasArts, Lucasfilm, depending on when you played it. And I don't know, we felt like we were allowed to reference that as well because we knew that we wanted to do a lot of pirate stuff. And so, you know, it was Monkey Island, but also we went back and watched like pirate serials from the 30s and old Errol Flynn swashbuckling epics. Like it was a lot of influences.
Brilliant. And talking about the influences and some of the references, there is so many. The show is littered with different references and some in-jokes, and obviously there's a nod to the holiday special. And so how did all of that come about? I mean, you packed so much in, probably more so than any other Star Wars show so far, which is good.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
I mean, we're just fans, and like the opportunity to weave those things in, we thought would be really fun. I mean, I like the idea that the show could be watched by someone that doesn't know anything about Star Wars and enjoy it. But if you do know a lot about Star Wars, you know, we wanted to make sure there was a lot in there for you as well.
Yeah. And because other shows have already referenced like bigger things, we found it kind of a fun challenge to try to reference maybe more obscure pieces.
Yeah, the more edges of the galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've never ever seen the suburban sort of nature of a town in this. I mean, we've never seen this before in Star Wars, this aesthetic.
Yeah, we figured there must be some sort of middle class out there somewhere. You know, we've seen big cities, we've seen, you know, sort of like desolate planets, but we've never seen anything in between. We thought it must be out there, and it made sense for the story.
Yeah.
So it was up to, you know, the design team at Lucasfilm. You know, we had this story idea and concept for this world, and then they came back with these incredible designs.
Yeah. And I'm also just interested in the kind of mundane corners of the Star Wars world. They're still fascinating to me.
Yes.
Like in Andor, you see some of that a little more. It's like someone's apartment.
Yeah.
You know? And so we had a chance to really design those up and make them really special, like a classroom or someone's garage.
And was that all practical sets or?
As much as possible, yeah. We tried to create like the most immersive environment possible for the kids, so that when they're experiencing things, they're really experiencing things and not reacting to like a tennis ball and a stick.
Yeah, absolutely. We spoke to the kids this morning, and they are such an amazing bunch, and the camaraderie between the four of them is fantastic.
They're a little skeleton crew. Like they became best friends immediately. It was so sweet to watch.
And how was it working with them?
Yeah, they were fantastic. They were, you know, just embodying our characters, and they brought them to life. And then they were just so much fun, you know, kind of the way that the show is evoking that youthful spirit. I think everyone, even all the rest of the crew and everyone, the kids' enthusiasm and the fact that when they're acting in a scene, they're just playing and having fun, even if it's a dramatic scene.
Yes.
Yeah, Ford likes to say like they had to go to school when we were shooting, so they'd go off and do their class, and then shooting was like recess.
Yes. Yeah, I think they're about to go to school in a minute over here. So in terms of bringing a star like Jude Law into this, it's amazing to me that he's never been in Star Wars before now, because he's sort of the perfect fit.
Yeah.
Is that how you felt?
Doesn't it feel like he's already been in Star Wars and we just brought him back?
Yeah.
Like, he's such a huge Star Wars fan also. I mean, when we were writing it, we always wrote it as like a Jude Law type character. So to actually have Jude Law is like a dream come true.
Was he really in mind for the role when you created it? Or?
Yeah.
I think more for you, because in my mind, I couldn't believe that we could get someone like that. But you've been working with Alfred Molina and everything.
Yeah.
Alfred Molina. And who else? I can't think of it.
Rub it in, is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And what about Nick Frost for SM33?
Yeah, that was another one where, when we'd read through it, we would do this kind of piratey voice for SM33, and I think someone was like, I think you're just doing a Nick Frost impression. So we were like, well, let's get him then. He was another person that was just like in mind all along.
How's it like writing a show like this and then just seeing it come to life? Obviously, I've never experienced something like that.
Yeah.
So how is that? I mean,
It's hard to describe. I mean,
It's gratifying and amazing, but then it's a little bit terrifying because they get up there and they all are going to say what you planned, and I hope it's good.
yeah. I mean, we have this drawing that Ford did from the very beginning. Like before we had written it, I think you drew a picture of what all the kids look like, just like a quick pencil sketch. And it's kind of exactly what they ended up looking like. So to go from that
Different
to
hair.
an actual show is like, it's hard to describe how that feels. It's great.
so what's the message you want people to take away from this show?
I mean, part of what's great about Star Wars is it's not just an adventure. It's like has this kind of deeper mythological meaning to it, and we really want people, after going through the whole journey, to hopefully we put something in there that can connect with that. That there's something in there that's just about not just the wish fulfillment of wanting to go on an adventure, but about the maturity and about learning that maybe home was more special than you thought.
I also really like the idea that people that don't know anything about Star Wars will be able to watch this with someone who knows everything about Star Wars, and they'll be able to enjoy it together.
Brilliant. Well, thank you both very, very much.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Can't wait for everyone else to see it.
Yeah, and excited for you to see the rest of it. Find out what happens.